Time for Now What? Moments presented by Prudential, and it's the last drive. What an answer, and the drive start doesn't get much better than that throw over the top of Kaiser into the awaiting arms of Warren, and then the throwback after getting all the misdirection, getting the Notre Dame players run to the right. You find Dinkins in the flat to the left, and how about the cutback by Singleton, who sees the entire left side of his offensive line disappear, and he powers forward for the game-tying touchdown. It's a terrific answer from Penn State.
And Drew Aller stepped up. He's 6 for his last 6 now, after a 4 for 12 start. The ball's in the hands of Riley Leonard, given plenty of time. Denied. Dennis Sutton dropped into coverage and picked it off. That's about the best protection Leonard has had all night. And he threw it right into the hands of Sutton.
And it's a great job by the defensive end, who's not often used in coverage, 260 plus pounds. Riley Leonard thinks he could get it up and over the top to Evans. He cannot, because of the length that you get from 6'5" Dennis Sutton. Just way too aggressive from Riley Leonard, because if he gets it over the top, still probably a huge blow up on the sideline and a huge mistake from the veteran quarterback.
Penn State +2 in turnover margin tonight with 2 interceptions. They haven't turned it over. Best starting field position of the night, with momentum having shifted back to the Nittany Lions. And Katron Allen knocked down after a 5-yard run. And they're right on the verge of field goal range now. James Franklin talked in the last round about turnover margin being the most important stat, as he said, since the beginning of time. The only time Notre Dame's lost the turnover margin all year was in their loss to Northern Illinois. They've been either even or plus in every other game this year, with -2 tonight. Aller, lots of time and too high, and out in front of Harrison Wallace III, with Leonard Moore in coverage. And a big 3rd down, because this is borderline field goal range here for the redshirt freshman Barker, whose long is 49, and who tried only 1 all year from beyond 50.
You might be thinking 4-down territory here, depending on how much you pick up on 3rd and 5, so they can run it right here. Don't be surprised if Drew Aller uses his legs, if they have a friendly box defensively from Notre Dame.
Allen shifted back to his right hip. They picked up pressure up the middle. Aller does run the ball, has the 1st down and more. Got banged around and kept on going to the 24. 11 yards for Drew Aller.
And it's all made possible by the terrific block of Katron Allen, who just engages with Osbury immediately on the blitz. Aller runs right behind it, and there's plenty of green grass as number 34, Drake Bowen's dropping back in coverage. James Franklin has got to love the effort there from his big quarterback on the ground.
He's become more of a runner, and an effective one at that. All day to throw. Throwing for Warren, and that one's intercepted. Jack Kaiser picked it off. There's a flag down inside the 5-yard line. Warren was behind the defense. The ball floated a bit. Kaiser picked it off, but there is a flag. And it's going to be a pass interference call against Marcus Freeman's team. And he has a wry smile for the officiating crew.
Steady jumps.
Number 0. Defense, 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
And he's familiar with this crew. It's the same group that worked the game against Georgia.
And they said number 0, but I think it's number 8, Schuler, who never at any point turns around to try to make a play on the ball. That's a good call by the official. The Notre Dame fans hate it, but you cannot make contact with the receiver and not turn around and try to make a play. I know Kaiser's waiting for the interception, but that's the correct call against Schuler.
Let's get Matt Austin's thoughts really quickly, Matt. Good call?
Yeah, that's a good call. When you're not playing the ball and the receiver has to reach back over the defender to get to it, that's definitely pass interference.
Crowd doesn't like it. Some debris being thrown on the field, the reason for the stoppage.
It's now 2 defensive penalties against Irish defensive backs that have wiped out interceptions. And I think both calls, much to the chagrin of the Irish faithful, were correct.
Huge call. Would have been a turnover. Instead, it's 1st and goal. They're at the 9-yard line. 8:42 to go in a tie game. Allen ahead for a couple, where he's stopped by Drake Bowen.
Have to wonder a little bit with Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator. Where's his quarterback psyche? He just threw an interception, was bailed out. Do you trust him as the field now is condensed to drop back and throw it again? I'm not sure I do. I lean on this offensive line in this run game to see if I can't power my way to the end zone behind the best part of my team so far tonight, that offensive line.
Eight minutes to go. Singleton! His 3rd touchdown of the night!
And the left side of the offensive line will get all the credit, but you got to look at the right side in the center. Look at number 72, Nolan Rucci, who reaches Rubio, secures him off, walls him off just enough to allow Singleton to slip up inside. That was a great job on the backside of the offensive line, allowing that run to spring free for another big score.
Penn State scored the first 10 points of the night. Notre Dame scored 17 in a row. And now 2 consecutive touchdowns for the Nittany Lions, and Barker's extra point makes it a... Will the dangerous Harrison get a chance to return to kickoff? Gabriel Wuso is a touchback kicker ordinarily. Wusu runs to it. And Harrison's going to try it. Why not? 4 career kickoff returns for a touchdown. He ran into one of his own men, and that got him stumbling after he collided with Max Perleman.
Tonight's Good Hands plays are brought to you by Allstate. A big mistake by Riley Leonard. Too aggressive. Thinks he can get it up and over the top of the 6'5" denied Dennis Sutton. He cannot. And then a couple plays later, Jack Kaiser thinks he has an interception to flip momentum back in favor of the Irish, but the pass interference on Schuler wipes out the pick, and then Singleton pays it off a moment or 2 later. Just a big sequence there for Penn State. Riley Leonard inside his own 20, needing to get something going offensively.
And they open this possession with Jadarian Price as the running back. Penn State defenders creeping closer to the line of scrimmage. And they bring pressure. And it is the nose tackle, Zane Durant. He didn't need help from the blitz. He got penetration and dropped the play for a 4-yard loss.
And they are without, remember, they're without their starting right guard and their left tackle. This time it's just a bust up front. Pat Coogan thinks he's working on a double team. Nobody's there to block Durant. And this is the result of the injuries to the linemen earlier in the game.
Catch made. Jaden Greathouse trying to get to the line to gain. They're going to spot him out at the 26. An 11-yard gain. 3rd down and 3 for the Irish with 7:09 and the clock remaining.
Massive down here, considering Penn State's already put together one 7-minute touchdown drive earlier in the game. Here in a gotta-have-it situation, I'm looking in the direction of my most reliable target tonight, and that's Mitchell Evans. He's lined up here at the end of the line of scrimmage, probably trying to help the tackle, but he's the go-to guy in the passing game.
Saw Anthony Knapp, their starting left tackle, in street clothes on the sideline. Leonard Started a run, then dumped it off for Greathouse for a first down. And we should point out Tosh Baker, who came in at left tackle and is still in there, played 60 snaps all year. And Charles Jogusaw, who's come in at right guard, had not played an offensive snap all year. He had played 6 special team snaps against Georgia after missing the entire year with a torn pec. So with 2 backups who have barely played, Notre Dame's actually fared better on offense with them in the game. On 1st and 10 with 6 minutes to go. Carter gets there again. Leonard just got it off. Kobe King lost his helmet on the tackle, so he has to go off after a 6-yard completion to Jeremiah Love.
Last couple snaps, Riley Leonard's done a really good job keeping his eyes downfield. He's had to move in the pocket a little bit. He's had to get off his #1 read in the progression. And he's finding answers on the underneath passing game by buying time moving in the pocket.
Play clock on 40, please.
They're adding time on the clock. Riley Leonard's family, mom Heather, agonizing. He wears the number 13 for his dad, Chad, who wore that in college as a basketball player at the Citadel. Leonard grew up a Notre Dame fan. His great-grandfather played there in the 40s, living out his dream and hoping for the dream ending. He runs for a first down to the 45-yard line where Zakee Whitley made the stop. Wheatley's had another good game. Under 5.5 to go.
Now understanding the importance of all these downs, and coordinator Mike Denbrock taking a picture of the defense, making the perfect call by giving a look back to the sideline.
Late toss to Love. He goes up and over. Said he wouldn't do it because of the knee. He's just hurdled somebody in the 6th different game this year. And that one got only 2 yards. My goodness.
He broke his own rule. I mean, this young man's incredible. And way less than 100% on that right leg. Goes up and over the top of the outstanding Kobe King. And
took off on the left leg.
I mean, he just floats in the air, man. Incredible.
Under 5 minutes to go. 2nd down and 8. Penn State leads by a touchdown. Leonard throws wide open. Jaden Greathouse avoided Jalen Reed and scores. 54 yards.
Well, you're going to see Cam Miller engaged with Greathouse in the slot, and as Greathouse goes to the outside, Miller just falls down. As a result, Greathouse has nothing but room out in front, makes a guy miss, and is out the gate. Just a terrible time to slip on the grass for Miller, and a big play for the Irish.
It's the 2nd touchdown of the year for Greathouse. Sophomore from Austin, Texas. 6 catches for 95 yards tonight for Greathouse. The extra point has tied him. He had 29 catches all year, 6 tonight. That's a career high, as are his 95 receivers. Heated up before they can snap it on this possession.
10, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Singleton called for the penalty.
Singleton right next to Aller, just leaning forward ever so slightly, and you'll see he even says, "My bad, man." He even taps on his chest right there and says, "I'm sorry about that." Good call.
So 1st and 15. Aller dumps it off for Singleton with some running room. Run down from behind by Jack Kaiser. Playing in his 69th career game, the Notre Dame record, doesn't want it to be his last. 10 yards for Singleton, 12 after the catch. He caught the ball behind the line of scrimmage.
That's one thing I think that this Penn State offense hasn't done a lot of yet. They've tried, but Aller had a couple key misses. The running backs' involvement in the passing game on this drive and moving forward in this game could be paramount, knowing that those linebackers are probably starting to get a little gassed.
Both running backs on the field together. Singleton survived the collision behind the line of scrimmage, but did not get the first down. Junior Tui Alamaka made the tackle after Jalen Sneed whiffed. A gain of 2 and an enormous 3rd down and 3 with under 4 minutes to go.
Before they even break the huddle, you already know what Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator, and Drew Aller's thinking. In this situation, it's players over plays. So who are you going to look in the direction of? It's big number 44, one of the best players in America, Tyler Warren. He's your guy on 3rd and 3.
They send him in motion. And Notre Dame sends a couple of defenders. They send Kaiser on a blitz. It was picked up. Aller being run down and stopped at the line of scrimmage. Pursued by Kaiser, and it was the freshman Bryce Young who got Aller on the grass. And no hesitation from James Franklin. This part of the field, he's not going for 4th down and a long 2.
That was terrific coverage by Notre Dame in the back end. Trying to work Tyler Warren, threw a little rub and a pick. Notre Dame wasn't fooled. They covered it up and dropped Aller, forced the punt. Riley Thompson punts. He's been one of the best in Penn State history, averaging more than 44 per punt. End over end, and a fair catch made by Max Hurleman. Notre Dame will start at its 24 after a 44-yard punt. Here are the numbers we referenced. Offensive struggles. Mike Denbrock leaned heavily on the run coming out to start the 3rd quarter, and his team has found a rhythm. Singleton on his way to game MVP honors should Penn State win on the offensive side of the ball. And Riley Leonard's been Riley Leonard. As Aller watches when his team has needed it most, he has stepped to the forefront. It's absolutely imperative here. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Need a field goal. You obviously want to kick it as the clock goes to 0, but you have to account for the pass rush of Abdul Carter at the top. He can take over the game. Price, with a lot of running room, gets 8 on 1st down. And how do you play it, Greg, if you're Notre Dame? Are you in a hurry, or do you just want to get into field goal position with as little time left on the clock? Not in a hurry yet. You have 3 timeouts at your disposal. At this point, you have your whole offense open to you. No need to play urgency ball at the moment. Remember, Notre Dame was the worst field goal kicking team in the country in the regular season when Jeter was injured, but he seems to be fully healthy. He's to follow. 2 minutes to go in a tie game. 2nd and 2, Notre Dame. Love trying to turn the corner. Taken down a yard short of the 1st down by Denai Dennis Sutton and Devon J. Thomas. Sutton's interception, just the 2nd of his career. Big play in this game. Notre Dame tied it moments ago on their longest pass play of the season. That touchdown pass to Jaden Greathouse. 3rd down and 1, a minute and a half to go. Of course it's Leonard. He has the 1st down at the 36. Agonizing for Aller. Now you got to start to pick up the pace a little bit if you're Notre Dame, but there's an injury to Jalen Kimber, the corner for Penn State. Kimber transfer from Florida.
There is no option for a 10-second subtraction.
His first year at Penn State. He started his career at Georgia.
Notre Dame got a 1st down. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1 minute 26 seconds. Following the 1st down, we stop the clock under 2 minutes.
One thing you're always thinking about as a quarterback is as soon as you see a defensive back, a corner in particular, go down, first thing that goes off in your head is, all right, who's the backup and how can I attack him? So Riley Leonard needs to be thinking about that. Now that Jalen Kimber's out of the ball game, how can I create a matchup against a corner that hasn't played quite as much, considering their best cover corners currently on the ground getting attention?
Well, when we talked to James Franklin the other day, he mentioned he thinks they have 5 really good corners who rotate in pretty regularly. So Kimber replaced by somebody they have faith in.
It's 127, please. 127.
Riley Leonard has 213 yards passing tonight after just 90 in the win against Georgia. And he's rushed for a touchdown.
The guy that'll be replacing Jalen Kimber will be number 9, Elliott Washington. He's lined up here down at the bottom in press coverage.
They're at the 36, 122 to go, all 3 timeouts. Leonard, there's a flag down, and Leonard's down back at the 33-yard line. Abdul Carter has been a factor all night long, playing with that injured shoulder. And what is the flag? Notre Dame players indicating it's against Penn State, and they're walking it off.
Hands to the face, number 28, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Huge call against Zane Durant. It takes them across midfield.
And that right hand way up into the face of the right guard, Charles Jock, you saw, and that's a good call by the official, wiping out a sack. And now if you're Riley Leonard here in plus territory, you got to be thinking, hey, jet sweep, and it's a nice play.
19 yards.
Maybe go with a screen or something quick that gets it out of the quarterback's hands.
Jeter getting ready. They're not in field goal range yet. His career long's 53. Leonard stumbles away from the rush, takes off running, and runs out of bounds with a gain to the 44. We talked with Mitch Jeter last week at Media Day in New Orleans. He said his career long's 53, but he feels like he could get out to about 58 yards. The wind is not an issue. He's an experienced kicker. 2 years as the starter at South Carolina, the last 2 years, and now here at Notre Dame this season.
If that's the case, I mean, you're already right on the edge of field goal range, and you see the Penn State defense all walked up on the line of scrimmage, sensing the urgency, feeling the need for a negative play.
Here's pressure right away off the corner from Zion Tracy, and Carter pursued Leonard to the boundary, and Riley just did throw it away. Boy, Tracy on the corner blitz was there in a blink of an eye, and Leonard did well to avoid the sack and a loss. But now it's 3rd down and 5 with under a minute to go, 1 second under a minute, and each team with all 3 timeouts left, and not in field goal range, you would think, from here.
And that's the pressure that you would have anticipated on 1st down. It comes on 2nd. They did not have an answer for it. Now you got to be thinking pressure again.
Are you surprised they're dropping back and throwing?
I'm not. I like dropping back and throwing, but I need a screen. I need something quick. Faison down here at the bottom of the screen. Get it to him and see if you can get some blockers out in front. Get the ball out of Riley's hands quick.
They've converted 8 of their last 9 on 3rd down. They're 10 of 14 for the game. 1:01 to go now with the time on the clock. Faison, the motion man. Leonard steps up. He's in trouble and sacked back at the 49-yard line by Keziah Izzard.
And that's just brutal. It's really only a 3-man rush, but it looks like a lot more than that, as the left tackle, Tosh Baker, gets beat inside by Vanover. Riley Leonard really doesn't have anywhere to go because they're using Abdul Carter as a quarterback spy, and then they just collapse with Izzard on top.
I'm surprised by the consecutive pass plays here. You know, they're a team that's rushed for more yards this year than they've thrown for. That's been their calling card, including the quarterback Leonard.